Hey ladies and germs, Xavier here, signing in from the very northern part of Malawi, where our adventures were last. Today I am very excited because it's new country time in Tanzania. Southern Tanzania to be exact. And in this video we'll be journeying through southern Tanzania like the locals do. So most foreign visitors coming to Tanzania will be having a 5-star safari experience, but in our journey, we'll be sleeping where the locals sleep when they need accommodation, eating where the locals eat when they are eating out, and traveling like the locals do. But first, let's get into the country. And we're officially in Tanzania. Getting the visa was pretty smooth, 50 USDs. And then it was time to change my remaining kwacha, which are the Malawian currency, into Tanzanian shillings. And even though I've done this like over a dozen times now, someone came up to me and I was like, oh, I'm gonna, look around for the best rate. Then somehow he just convinced me that this was the best rate. And I guess I was partly convinced because the other countries I've been to in Africa so far, at the border, everyone had the same rate. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I started exchanging, and then like several times he would just give me a smaller amount than what we agreed on, and kind of acted like the exchange was over. And I was like, no, you have to give me the rest of my money. So he tried to scam me a few times, but I eventually got everything that we agreed on. Hello. And then I turned the corner and there were other exchangers that I couldn't see before, and they were offering a better rate. Hello. So I ended up losing the equivalent of $3 US on the exchange there. So a little bit mad at myself because I know better. I was just, I guess, lazy in the moment. I couldn't see other exchangers, so I was just like, oh well, this guy's here. So we'll leave that behind us and begin enjoying southern Tanzania. First rains in South Africa. So I think we didn't make it to my final objective for the day, which was the town of Tukuyu. I say I think because my new techno phone that I got in Malawi, GPS doesn't seem to work offline. Anyways, so it was this kind of small roadside town, and I saw they had a place with a new looking building with a bed kind of picture on it. I go inside, and sure enough, it is a guest house, and it is brand new. When I first got to the reception, I asked how much it was. She said 20 shillings, which is like $6 US. And yeah, as you can tell, it is a pretty good value. It might actually be the nicest room I've stayed at in Africa so far, so that's a pretty pleasant surprise. Little cow stomach. I was first acquainted with this in Mexico. So that meal was pretty good, and it cost 2,000 Tanzanian shillings, which ends up being about 90 cents US. After that, I headed to the bar next door, and I got this larger beer for, again, 2,000 shillings, so 90 cents, and this slightly larger than a regular beer, premium quote-unquote beer, and this one was about 70 cents. So this one, Ndovu, is pretty decent. Kind of your typical premium beer in developing country. Really smooth, a little bit sweet. No complaints.
Poultry, you have some goats, and then I also do some cows for milk production.
This one, Safari Lager, is 5.5%. Tastes pretty good. Maybe a little bit yeasty for my taste, but regardless, I'm glad I picked it up, given that it will be the only safari that I'm be taking in Tanzania. Got some great sleep last night, thanks to those Southern Tanzanian mountains. This morning I went out for breakfast, and I was kind of surprised to see the level of excitement that people had for seeing me. It was like I was a rare animal who wandered into the village. A lot of excitement. Everyone was, you could hear everyone saying Kazungu, Kazungu, which I gather means white man. And usually that's normal with children, but this was everyone under 40. which isn't my favorite part about traveling. I'd rather blend in if I could. But breakfast was good. Some big chunks of meat, nice greasy meat, and and fried plantains. Didn't film it because I felt like half the town was looking at me eat it, so didn't really want to pull out the camera at that point. Glad I was able to find a nice hearty breakfast, because I took a peek at the map. Hello. And today should be another mountainous day. Looking forward to it. Hello. Mbeya was founded following in a gold rush that took place here in the early 20th century, and continued to be administered by the British until 1961. Today the principal economic sector of the area is agriculture, as Mbeya and just this part of Tanzania is considered Tanzania's breadbasket, because the lands are very fertile with different elevations allowing different crops to grow, and a good amount of rainfall. And given that Mbeya is the only large city for a good distance, it is also a general economic hub for northern Malawi and Zambia. So I had a pretty nice time in Mbeya, exploring the city, uploading a video eventually. But given that it is currently the rain season in Tanzania, and it looks like the skies are somewhat clear where we're wanting to go, time to hit the road. Thank you. It was very good. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Have a good night. Okay. Okay. Good night. So that last shot you saw there, where it was getting dark, was at the end of a pretty nice evening I had. I had gotten settled into my room that you saw there that did not have running water. Decided to go for a little stroll into the town to get some food. And I saw a few gentlemen and women with really colorful, unique costumes that I had never seen before, but and also like big hoop earrings and stuff like that. But given that I was entering somewhere where I was planning on staying to eat, I didn't really want to take out my camera, so I didn't get any shots of them, but I think that there'll be more opportunities for that in the future. Anyway, so I'm walking around the town, and this group of young men, they're sitting in a circle, and they see me, they wave me over enthusiastically and offer me a drink, which they called bum juice, which is a bit of an unfortunate name, not the most appealing, but maybe bum is a term in Swahili, which is the language most commonly spoken here in Tanzania. So anyways, I take a sip of it, and it's not bad actually. actually more enjoyable than the quote-unquote local beer I've had in like Lesotho or Malawi. This one did not have any sediment. It was pretty sour, but I actually kind of enjoyed that aspect of it, and it hit really hard. I only took like a few sips of it, and I could definitely feel it. So very high alcohol percentage there. And yeah, so after that, they helped me find some food. I came back, I ate with them. I gave maybe a third of my plate of rice and beans, passed it around to them. And then the one guy who sort of spoke English, as is very common when you're traveling to Africa, wanted my phone number. He also wanted my address, which was a bit unusual. I told him I didn't have one, which is pretty much true. Yeah, it was a nice evening. You know, nobody asked me for money, but I kind of have a feeling that when they're asking for your phone number and your address and stuff like that, that maybe that's something that will happen down the line. But maybe I'm just being cynical. So I did give them my my Facebook profile, which doesn't have my real name, Javier Petroni, if you're interested. Yeah, so anyways, good evening. Another nice day today. There's been headwinds the last few days, so not doing a lot of kilometers per day, but at least the sky is clear. I mentioned before that it was the rain season in Tanzania, which is true, but I've actually realized that we're going to be going through a pretty arid area, which is dry, for the next few days here on our way to Iringa. So I don't think we'll be seeing any rain. A big, well-deserved carb load. That green plate was full of beans, and the plate with the leftover chicken bones was full of French fries. Now for the cherry on the cake.
some more delicious and cheap Tanzanian beer to explore. I was really surprised to see that this was a lager, Serengeti here, which I've seen many a local drink. Again, 90 cents, but a very, very unique flavor. Definitely the most unique I've had of the Tanzanian brews, which have all been good. I'm going to keep enjoying this one and reflect on where it stands. More on that in a future video.
Wow. So we've made it to the small city slash large town of Iringa. Seems like a pretty interesting place. I'll be exploring, doing some research, and making a video which will be coming up on the channel. But before that will be the video of Mbeya, and then the video of the Isimila Stone Age site and natural pillars. A video where you can learn about what things were like 300 to 400,000 years ago here. Also in the video is a very spectacular natural phenomenon. So that's definitely an interesting video, if I do say so myself. A Hum of the Earth editor's pick. And then the video of Iringa. So I hope you enjoyed this video of our journey through southern Tanzania. I really enjoyed it. Much more beautiful than I was expecting. Really great scenery. Really good prices for accommodation. Also really high quality. Here's a look at my room. A bit messy right now, but pretty nice. Good prices, good beer. So I'm definitely looking forward to continuing my journey bicycling through Tanzania. Part of my larger adventure, bicycling from Cape Town, South Africa, all the way to Cairo, Egypt. Before that, I bicycled from Canada, where I'm from, all the way to southern Patagonia in Argentina. And all those videos are available on this very same YouTube channel, Hum of the Earth. And if you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I've been and everything that I got to see and do. I have that available over on my website, followthehumoftheearth.com, where you can click on the different locations and see the various blog posts and videos I've made of these places. And if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures bicycling through Africa, you can do so by clicking on the red subscribe button below the video and clicking on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. All right, so that's gonna do it. Hope you enjoyed.